right. Excellent. So thanks, Jerry. Good breakdown of how we could be using data and how to still kind of make things a lot easier. But instead of just taking it from you, I think let's get Lauren back, and we can hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So thanks for joining us.
Your horse, Lauren.
I didn't mean it like that. Hey, Lauren. Thanks for joining us. Do you want to give us a bit of an intro to yourself for starters, and then we can get into it?
Sure. Thanks, Kevin. I think so. I've been working at Crowdcube for 6-7 years now, and I'm the product marketing manager. So I've had a couple of comms roles within the team over the years as well. So a little bit about Crowdcube. We make investing accessible to everyone, really. You can start investing from just £10. There's a wide range of companies that we work with. So we have a community of a million members now, and the way that the companies raise money is through their own communities, through their customers, existing shareholders, family, friends. So they all pool their money together to back the businesses that they believe in, and then go on to become loyal customers, brand advocates for those companies.
I'm a bit biased because I do use you guys as well, but there you go. So let's get to the good bit. Why have we gone down this route? Why are you sort of using both Distil and DotDigital?
Sure. So it probably starts a few years ago, and we started using MailChimp, like a lot of companies do, really. We spent a lot of time crafting emails. So kind of before the days in which we worked with Jerry and the team at Distil, we probably spent, I don't know, 3 days a week crafting emails, and it was kind of relentless. And with such a small team as well, we really needed to scale our marketing comms. We were learning that email was such an important channel for us. So, we really needed to scale, not only for the team's sake, but also for revenue. It was a really strong component of Crowdcube, and we really had to utilize it.
Yeah. So I guess there's a few bits and pieces that I guess we helped you out with. I don't want to sort of get into the geeky stuff, but there's things like I guess liquid scripting that we sort of help you do to make the emails look a bit better, and I guess sort of putting together automated programs to sort of really help usher stuff along for you guys. So as Jerry was saying, it's a bit of a team effort, so everything kind of comes together really nicely. So it was taking you 3 days to put campaigns together. So we gave you back a lot more time, so that's a positive. What do you do at that time? What sort of campaigns are you putting together?
Yeah, so our campaigns now are much more personalised, automated, than they ever have been, really. And one of the reasons why we really, why we wanted to go down this route, why we wanted to select DotDigital as our kind of email partner, and why we use Distil, is the way that our data is structured. We've got thousands of data points, and a lot of platforms are restricted by attributes. So an attribute, I'm sure you're aware, but for those that aren't, it's just that like one snippet of information. So for example, for us, we work with loads of companies which are, technically our products in our emails. The title, the image, the target, the link, everything is an attribute. So we've constantly new companies coming to Crowdcube, so we want to feature 3 to 10 businesses in an email. That's a lot of attributes, especially if you want to go down the personalization route. You need to match those companies to our investor base. So we've got all of the investor attributes. So it becomes, like a really long list. And a lot of platforms just couldn't work, couldn't work for the amount of data that, we had. So yeah, DotDigital was kind of a great option for us. And we now use the insight data. So we basically have like limitless data table. The UI, the template designs, and the reporting was kind of, really what swayed us. So now, like the campaigns that we're creating, kind of, you know, your mind is you know, if you can use your imagination, it can run wild really with the amount of campaigns that you can run. But some of the successful ones that we've run, we match a company's postcode with an investor's postcode. So we have an opportunity come up in Bristol, and we know that, you know, X of investors live there. It will pop up in a notification to say, you know, we think you'd be interested in this business because it's literally down the road from you. So those emails have done really well, and you know, the investors can really resonate with the companies. They, you know, they've probably heard of them, or it could be a local shop down the road from them. So we've seen that works really well for us.
Yeah, I know it's kind of what we were talking about beforehand, the relevancy. If you can use those data pieces and put those into the campaigns, it really does make things a hell of a lot more relevant. So I know it's worked on me. As I said, I'm really a fan or a customer of you guys, so it works on me definitely. I think the burning question for a lot of people will be, if I can be so bold as to say, what sort of uplift have you seen since using both Distil and DotDigital?
So the biggest one I would say personally for me is time. So it's freed up, you know, mine and my team's time massively. It's really easy to use, and you know, once you've set up your programs, you know, that all your emails are going out automatically. Obviously, you can go in and craft new emails, but it's kind of freed us up, you know, to be able to create new campaigns, to test, to optimize. So that's massive really for us. But also I would say revenue's probably gone up from 20 to 30% since we've started doing personalized emails through email. As I said before, it was a really good channel for us, and you know, now it's even better. So yeah, I would say those two. But another thing really is customer satisfaction. Like for us, it's really important, as I'm sure it is for most companies. But if we can really you know, improve the customer experience as well by sending them relevant content, personalized content, it's a win-win really.
Yeah, I think that's a big one, especially after the sort of the year we've had, and people actually ramping up the amount of emails they're sending out. As your inbox gets even more full and overloaded, you're going to pay attention more to those messages that are more, I keep saying it, more relevant to you, and it's gonna make more of an impact. So yeah, I'd agree with you there. And you know, people listening, you know, hearing that you're making more money is great, but I think for a lot of people as well, getting time back is a huge thing. So I like that. Thank you. I'll slip you a $5 afterwards saying that. So going back to this again, what sort of constitutes success in an email campaign for you? What is it you're sort of looking for?
So we always benchmark against ourselves. We think this is really important for us. We've been sending emails for 10 years as a company. We know what works, we know what doesn't work. We know our average open click-through rates. We know the number of transactions through email, the amount of revenue, and all our emails differ. And we know kind of our top performing campaigns. Some go out more frequent, so they might create more revenue and those kind of things. So I think it's really important just to benchmark against yourselves. You can obviously look at industry averages and things like that as a gauge, but I think ultimately, every company is different, and for some, social media might be your top performing channel, email might be. So I think it's really important just to kind of look at your past performance and use that.
Yeah. It's music to my ears. I think clients always ask for industry stats so they can compare themselves to others in the industry, and it's great. It's a good starting point. But what you really need to do is, as you said already, is just benchmark against yourself. It's the best way of sort of growing is matching yourself to previous results and continuing to grow. So I love to hear that sort of thing. Right, so and then finally, before we get Jerry to sort of come in and join us for the final Q&A, how important is using other channels when they're communicating with a customer?
Massively important. I stress about how important email is to us, but for us, it really is a holistic approach. You know, if you have a personalised email going out of DotDigital, it's also really important to show the same messages through Facebook and, you know, onto our website. Another great thing that we can do through using Distil is that we can, all the information that we have from DotDigital, so all the open, click-through, number of investors, that kind of thing, that can all go back into Distil, and we know who's opened an email, who hasn't. We know, you know, their net worth. So then we can use that information, put the segment back into Facebook, and we can do a retargeting ad that way.
Sure.
So I mean, you know, all the platforms kind of go hand in hand, and Distil is kind of like a hub where we have all of our customer data. So if we've got everything we know about, you know, their email behavior, their social behavior, when they were last on the website, we can use all of that data within, you know, across all of our channels and also on our website. So something that we're working with Jerry on is using our recommendation engine, using all of the geolocation emails and all of the investor behavior. We're going to use that onto our website so we can start creating personalized user journeys. So, you know, everything that Distil kind of works for all of our emails, we can use it across, you know, every other channel and our website.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant, being able to use different channels in that way, because you need that sort of joined up approach. Using multiple channels really does help to sort of make the customer a bit stickier, you know, and it helps to create that even deeper engagement with them. So I think it's brilliant that you're using different channels.
Okay.
Right, excellent. Let's get Jerry back. We've missed you, Jerry. And then we can go through these questions that we got from the audience. So
you see me okay?
Yeah, we can see you.
All right.
Excellent. So let's have a question here. What's the average open rate for a personalized campaign? I'll happily take that one on. It's difficult. It's difficult to say. It's a personalized campaign is going to be a hell of a lot more engaging than a non-personalized campaign. I think we saw some stats earlier that I think it was something like 75% of people prefer to shop with brands that have personalized the experience for them. So again, you know, go back to Lauren's answer just a second ago about the fact that when you personalize, you're going to have more sort of engagement with people. I think that's what we're sort of looking for. Yeah, that's it. And benchmark against yourself. Don't really look to see what the sort of industry stats are. Just look at what you're doing and start to incrementally improve on those results.
Can I add something as well? I think that's
sure.
Great. We just on that one, we just recently had a story where Laura mentioned the sort of geolocation algorithm in Distil, where you match a person's location to the things going on around them. We recently had a case where we did that for someone, and they had an email where their standard open rate was about 12-13%. When we took their location, simply the location of where they are, and put, you know, what's happening in, and then the name of the town, that open rate went up to 25 to 30%. So it can make a significant difference. Personalization can give you a significant boost in those things.
Yeah, 100%. I think this one's going to be for you, Jerry. Can we use the data collected in Distil within, say, an SMS message?
Yes, yeah. So Distil doesn't contain any touch points. What it does do is it allows you to use all the tools you want to use really easily. So it allows you to, if you know, I know DotDigital can do SMS, but if you want to use another provider, for example, it allows you to take that data and put it really, really easily. So what it enables you to use tools you want to use really quickly without any engineering resource, which is fantastic.
Perfect. I think this is probably another one for you again, Jerry. We're a retail client, and although Crowdcube's examples is very interesting, how can you cater for a pure play retail business?
Well, so very easily. I mean, it's all e-commerce really, and ultimately, everybody has preferences. Everybody exhibits behaviours, whether that's they like to buy from the high end or from the low end, or whether they like certain things. People exhibit behaviour. You've also got people who you want to develop brand loyalty for. So people have different preferences, different things they like, and also they're in different stages of the journey. And customizing messages is how you bring people forward on that journey. It still helps you do that. So it gives you the opportunity, by segmenting audiences, by understanding who those customers are, it gives you the opportunity to build campaigns for those small focus groups. We've also got product recommendation engine in there. So we'll typically find that someone will buy one product and then they will buy another product after as well. So people tend to buy things in chains, and by identifying those with inside Distil, you can again build really one-to-one personalized emails. So like in Crowdcube's case, where every single email goes out is tailored specifically, the content of the email is tailored specifically to the individual through data, and using liquid script and DotDigital, you can do that for any number of products.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's brilliant. I mean, there's another question here about what else is sort of capable with Distil. I guess the list is endless. Lauren sort of hit the nail on the head when you're talking about the template and what you can design. It's literally a case of, do you have a data point? Do you want to be able to use it? Well, then yeah, you can use it in your campaign. So there's sort of countless capabilities here. And we already answered the question about SMS, so I guess that covered that too. But
I think one of the and Lauren can maybe attest to this as well, is one of the things that we see as most kind of the first and most important things that people like is they know that you've got some data about a customer in one system somewhere. It could be your help desk system, or it could be a CRM system, and that actually you might want to like the Venn diagram of those two systems gives you a really insightful section of your customers, but actually getting that data together is really hard. Distil just makes it really easy using our AI algorithms to just pull that data out, merge it, and then it's just at your fingertips. So maybe you can talk about that, Lauren. I know one of your largest use cases in your team is actually just getting a list of customers who have done a certain thing, who are in Salesforce and are in this and have done this on the platform. Can you just give me that list of customers? I want to talk to them specifically.
I think like a lot of marketing teams over the years, your marketing tech stack grows, and with that, your customer data grows. So for us, we had data in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc., and then also in multiple email platforms. But then you've also got all your CRM data, and then there's also third-party data that is invaluable to us as a company. So putting all of that data into one platform, Distil, we can enrich it. We know the customer record, and we know their action and behavior across all of our marketing channels, and ultimately the website. We know their investment behavior. We know what time they like to view the website. We know what time they like to view emails. So having that in one place makes it incredibly valuable, and also to then plug it into every single channel. So again, with the relevancy, the personalised message and consistency, it allows you to do all of that.
Yeah, excellent. Could have answered it better myself. Right, okay. Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. And I guess thanks for listening in, everyone. I'm sure we can do something again, right? I'm sure we can put something else together. If you do want to sort of get started with Distil, there's an option there for you to sort of email and give you a chance to sort of test out exactly what you can do with Distil. If you want to speak to us, there are our handles there as well. But thank you for joining us today, and hopefully we'll speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.